Whatever's in these glasses is a mystery to us and you because we're tasting blind and we're bringing you along for the ride. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're going blind tasting.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you for joining us today. If you're new here, Erin is more of a social sipper. I'm more of the whiskey nerd. And we sip things completely blindly so that we can eliminate all that pesky bias that gets in the way.
Yep.
And you get the most honest opinions this way. And it's a ton of fun.
It is fun.
Can't get enough of these tastings. They're always fun. We always hope the whiskey's good, but we never really know. Try to put a clue in the title for you. So maybe you try to guess along the way as to what we're sipping. But we've drawn this at random from our blind sample pool. Could be almost anything. Let's get into it. Ooh, smells like it got a little bit of power.
I got some stinky feet in a hospital.
Stinky feet in a hospital or stinky feet and a hospital?
Well, the stinky feet have a hospital smell to them. So maybe stinky feet and a hospital.
Okay. So you're getting both smells.
At the same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess it works both ways. Like they could be in a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, this smells really good to me. This smells like sweet Kentucky bourbon, but it does smell like it has an ethanol alcohol edge to it.
It smells strong.
It's kind of burning my nose hairs a little bit. Let's get into it.
It's pretty nice. It's not super sweet, but it's not unsweet either. It's very weird. I don't know how to place that.
That's a really good call out. It is like semi-sweet.
Yeah.
I think I like it. It is, like you said, wow, I'm getting a lot of sweetness on the finish now.
Yeah.
I took a bigger sip than I wanted to take, than I expected to take. And this thing is a ball of flavor. It's got some punch on the palate. I've got this sweet oak and like cherry cordial finish as far as flavor goes. And then this tingly spice all over my tongue.
But for me, it's all on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened on the front of my palate because I was so confused because the sip was bigger than it should have been.
Well, let's take another sip.
Can't trust that first sip.
I like this. It's brighter than maybe I want it to be. I want a little bit more depth there, but the flavor that's there is good. It's sweet without being too sweet, like I said. The sweetness is on the back end, which I appreciate. And it is kind of tingly. Like, it does feel proofy slightly, but not super high proof. Maybe like mid-teens. Yeah,
maybe into the low 20s. It's got quite a bit going on down here, back of the throat, down into the chest. It does have a lot of pizzazz on the palate, but I think I'm with you. I do wish there were maybe a little bit more depth or like some darker notes in there to balance out what I'm getting because what I am getting, and it is very good, like what I'm getting is like this kind of bright, almost like a strawberry or raspberry tart type of dessert. And then I'm getting a lot of sweet oak to go with that. And there's a little bit of like a nuttiness in there as well, kind of like I don't know if I would call it like a roasted peanut or something like that, but that's a little bit more of like a background supporting note.
Yeah.
And really this pour is all about that kind of tart fruit and sweet oak profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems really good. Let's get one more sip.
All right.
I want to get it on the nose too, to see if I'm picking up that stuff, and I just did, and I am. I'm getting like that tart fruit.
Just did, and I am.
Yeah, I'm getting that tart fruit. You know, sometimes when you smell something like this and you don't get many distinct flavors on the nose or aromas on the nose, then after you take a sip and you go back and revisit, some of that stuff can become more apparent, and that's exactly what happened here. Third sip in, what do you think?
I've already taken my third sip. I mean, it's still good. I do think the finish builds upon itself, which I like. So it does feel a little proofier now that I've taken 3 sips. It's good. It's solid. I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm going to be thumbs up as well. I like it. This to me kind of reminds me, you know, it's striking me kind of like a Larceny barrel proof or something like that. I'm not trying to guess what it is, but I'm just saying the profile kind of reminds me of something like that. I want to pay about $80 or so for something like that. We're going to find out the price and see if that changes our thumbs up. But in our pool, this is number 99. I think this is the last sample in our pool, unless it's 66.
We don't have a 99.
Well, then it's 66. So there we go. Problem solved. Former Josh probably thought of this problem and avoided it altogether by not going all the way up to 99. I think 98's maybe the last one.
97.
Then. 97, there we go.
It is $125.
Yeah, I'd say I don't think it's bad value for what you're getting personally. Do I have to have a bottle of it at that price though?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy. Like I'm not shocked that it's $125. But again, to your point, do I have to have what's in this glass at $125? Probably not. So I am going to go down to just okay, I believe. Let me take one more sip to clarify. But do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I definitely think experientially it warrants the price tag. I mean, it's got a lot of pop on the palate. It's got a lot of flavor. It's got a great finish. Again, the flavor profile is just not quite what I want to reach for all the time.
Yeah.
It's missing either those deeper notes. Like I want the fruit that's in here to lean a little bit more dark rather than so tart. And I wish there was a little bit more vanilla notes in here as well to kind of give me that type of element, that type of dynamic to the pour.
I agree with that.
For $125, I really want to love what I'm buying. I don't want to just buy $125 bottles to buy $125 bottles. That's not where we're at on our journey.
Yeah.
And if you are, I think this is a good bottle, and I do think it feels a little unique.
I do think, too, hear what Josh is saying, like this is maybe a little brighter profile than what we like, but if you are someone who appreciates maybe a slightly brighter note in your whiskey, this may be something you love. So I can tell by tasting it that this is well-crafted whiskey. Just the flavors aren't what I particularly am looking for in a whiskey. But if that's something you are looking for, this is great. This would be a great buy, I would think.
Well, and
a great value.
And to me, I agree with all that. And to me, this is more of like a mood pour. Like I'm almost getting like a cranberry tart note on this. And it's like I don't want to drink cranberry. I don't want cranberry notes or that tart fruit note all the time. I only want it sometimes.
Right, but that's what you want. I'm saying some people really enjoy that tartar profile.
Right.
So this would be something that maybe you would want to look for the price of $125, because I do feel like it's a fair price for what's in the glass. Yeah. We just tend to go for a little darker profile than what's in the glass.
Correct. Yeah, darker fruit, darker everything is what we prefer. But it's good. You said just okay?
Yeah, just for me, it's just okay. But as a general statement, I do want to say I think it is good, and I think in general it's a thumbs up. But for me personally, it's just okay, just because it doesn't align with what I'm profile flavor looking for.
Right. Man, I still taste the finish. The finish is lasting. I'm between a thumbs up and a just okay. I think it's really good whiskey, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say thumbs up.
But do you have to have a bottle of it?
Well, have to have a bottle would be 2 thumbs up.
Well, will you buy a bottle of this if you're in a store?
I would like to have a bottle of it, and in a moment of weakness, I might buy a bottle of it. Okay. I think it's pretty unique. It feels unique to me, and it feels like really good whiskey to me. And for those reasons alone, I think it's earned a thumbs up for me. Fair. Not the type of thing I would reach for all the time, but boy, if I had friends over, or if I was in this particular mood, I would either tell my friends, you got to try this, or if I was in this particular mood, there's times where this is exactly what I want. Yeah. It's just not often. So soft thumbs up for me, just okay for Aaron. Let's find out what we're drinking.
We are drinking Little Book Chapter 3, The Road Home.
Wow.
And it is 122.6 proof. And this is thanks to David K.
Wow, David, thank you so much, man. I'm going to have to look this up.
Can you even buy this anymore? This sounds like something you can't get anymore.
It's long gone, but that doesn't mean there aren't bottles out there that if you are inclined to look on certain markets that might have bottles available that are long since out of date, you could find one of these. And I don't know, it won't be $125, probably $200 or something like that, but I probably, this is at this point, to me, a bottle I am not going to own because I'm not going to pay more than $125 for it. But it is a bottle that I absolutely, if I ever saw it in a restaurant or a bar, I see a little book, I'm like, hey, which chapter is that? And they say, chapter 3. I'll be like, oh yeah, give me a pour of that. Because it's long gone. Like, you might as well have this and enjoy this experience. Yeah. I'm looking it up now. It's a blend of 9, 11, and 12-year-old bourbons from the Jim Beam Distillery, which now that kind of nuttiness makes sense that was in there that I was getting. But boy, it's really fruity. And there's a blend of several different mash bills, Baker's, Booker's, Basil Hayden, and Knob Creek's profile as well. So cool. That all makes sense. Yeah. Like, it feels very Larceny Barrel Proof, Jim Beamy. The reason I said Larceny Barrel Proof is because Larceny Barrel Proof tends to skew more fruity, and Jim Beam tends to skew a little bit more peanutty. And this particular blend skews a little bit away from the peanut and more towards those tart fruit notes. And I think the comp for this, honestly, while it's not a 1-to-1 correlation, Larceny Barrel Proof is a wheated bourbon, but I think it brings forward those like red fruit notes along with the peanut profile.
Highlighting some of the same notes that this is highlighting.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
100%. Like, if I had a bottle of this and had a bottle of Larceny Barrel Proof that I really liked, I would love to put them in a head-to-head to see how they compared. I think this would probably mop the floor with the Larceny in finish because that wheated bourbon just starts to get a little softer on the finish.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Also,
it's cool.
Little book, by the way. It's always an experiment. Every chapter is different. The last one that came out, I think the last 2 that came out, 7 and 8, have both been really good. Or maybe it was just 8. But anyways, they're doing a lot of fun stuff over there. It's worth keeping an eye on. Yeah. It is a little bit experimental at times. So spend your money cautiously and wisely. You know, if you're going to be disappointed, we always say this, at least in our house. We don't say it on the channel probably nearly enough. But if you're going to be disappointed by parting with $125 or $135 for a bottle of Little Book, you don't know what it tastes like. If you can't try it before you buy it, and you're going to be really bummed out that you spent that money,
if you don't like it,
probably just pass on the bottle.
Yeah. If you're okay with, you know, if you don't like it, say, you know what, that was watered down the drain, it's fine. If that's okay, then go ahead and try it. Like, it's worth it. But if you're going to be really upset that you spent $135 or something on a bottle of whiskey, I would just hold on to your money.
If you're stretching your budget and it's going to break you if the whiskey is not to your liking and you're buying it without trying it, just skip the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, if you like this video, don't skip hitting that subscribe button on the way out. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton.
Yeah,
and it helps
the like
you out
button.
a ton. Yeah.
The thumbs up.
All that stuff helps us. It helps you too, because it gets more videos like this in your feed from the almighty algorithm.
Yes.
And check out our Patreon community if you want to get connected with good people who like good whiskey, get access to our barrel picks, and just generally have a good time with whiskey. If you're looking for an online home, get off Facebook.
We would love to have you.
Yeah. Get into a more positive space. Come on over.
Yeah.
So check that out. And shirts like this one
merch.
and others, as well as, you know, with the holidays coming up, there's candles and cozy stuff over there at stuffandwhiskey.com. You can check all that out on our website.
Absolutely. That's it for today. Be good to each other, y'all. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. And read a book. Educate yourself.
Wait, where'd that come from?
It's a little book.
Oh. That seemed a little random, but I get it now.
Drink a book.
Drink a book. Don't judge a book by its cover.
There you go. Don't judge a Jim Beam book by its cover. Try the Little Book before you buy the Little Book. Oh. It rhymed.
It did rhyme because you said the same words.
I'm no Matt Porter or Pat Mortar. That's pretty good. I've actually heard a lot of hubbub about this release over the years. Like, everybody's like, Little Book Chapter 3 is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think 8.
I've literally never heard about it until today.
I think a lot of people think 3 and 4 were both really good. 5 took a kind of a crazy turn.
Gotcha.
I think 6 was also a little sideways, and then 7 and 8 I think have been pretty good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like this.
I like you.
If I found this, well, thank you.
Thank you for listening to me.
First and foremost, thank you. And I like you as well.
Thanks.
And
Thanks, man.
if I think the thumbs up is warranted, because while I could have gone down to just okay, the fact that this is out of production for several years now, you gonna make it?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I just don't see any light in this room, so it feels like it's nighttime.
Okay. The fact that, there's lights.
Like, no natural light.
Okay. The fact that if I ran across one of these, the fact that it's years out of production, if I happen to find one on the shelf, I'd probably buy it.
You'd give it to the FOMO, which is why we taste things
It's
blind.
not FOMO.
To fight the FOMO.
It's not FOMO. I just tried it. I like it.
But it's the fear of missing out.
No.
You like it okay.
I like it enough to buy a bottle.
Yeah.
And then share it with friends and be like, hey, you ever tried Little Book 3? Just like this sample was done for us. I just want to give other people that experience. It's not FOMO.
There's a little bit of FOMO in there.
FOMO, no. That's not what FOMO is. FOMO is not knowing whether you're going to like something or not and just buying it because...
No, FOMO is the fear of missing out, whether you know you're going to like it or not.
There's no fear. I ain't scared. I'm just saying I would buy the bottle if I saw it. There's no fear.
You're taking it too literally.
No, it's not.
Like, FOMO is, let's say Liz invited me to a show. I know I'd have a good time, but I said no. Like, I'm only saying yes because I don't want to miss out on the show. Like, it doesn't have to be something you're not familiar with to fear missing out on it.
You have a fair point, but that's not a direct correlation to how I feel about this whiskey.
Okay.
How I feel about this whiskey is it's pretty good, and if I had the money, I would buy it. Now, I see you. FOMO would be your friend inviting you to a show, you saying, oh, I don't have the money to go, and then spending the money anyways because you're scared of missing the show.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I've got the money to buy this and I see a bottle on the shelf because it's years out of production, I would be more inclined to buy it. That has nothing to do with FOMO. That has to do with the rarity of it and the fact that I could get my hands on it if it was in front of me.
Well, we speak to rarity being a contributing factor to FOMO. So that's right. I guess that's what it was.
But they can exist separate and apart from each other.
Correlation, not causation.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it.
You're conflating.
You're deflating.
Sick burn.
Thanks.